It's so dumb.
It's so dumb, it's brilliant.
No! It's just dumb!
There was a time where every once in a while we always have good expectations whenever a superhero movie, especially by Marvel, comes out, because Marvel movies used to not be role-playing as colorful virus that spreads everywhere and turn people into pedos, or in short, suck. Well, mostly. One of these movies that I still adore to this day is Thor Ragnarok, the third installment in the Thor franchise that I can confidently say it's the best Marvel movie behind Spider-Man No Way Home. It has amazing storytelling, comedy, visuals, and of course, characters. Now, the guy who directed the movie is Taika Waititi, who is famously known for it, and the other movie he directed, Jojo Rabbit. Now, I'm not gonna dive deeper into the movie because my channel is already being held at gunpoint, and I don't want them to pull the trigger. But other than that, it's basically Thor Ragnarok, but better, like emotionally. I really recommend you to watch Jojo Rabbit because it's an absolute masterpiece, which is not the case for his recent work, Thor, Love and Thunder.
Nothing can be taken seriously in Thor, Love and Thunder.
New Thor movie for me? Yes, sir, I do. And let me tell you, he's dumber than ever.
Infinity Gauntlet, the eternity to eradicate half of life, to eradicate all gods. And right away,
Thor, Love and Thunder is the gayest Marvel movie yet.
The sequel to Thor Ragnarok, and well, I think we can all agree that going to theater to watch the movie with high expectations because of Taika Waititi directing it is like your friends taking you to an exotic city just because there's a cosplay event there full of orphans. And trust me, I've been on both of them. Admittedly, there are lots of moments in the movie that I think is pretty enjoyable and even some being very emotional, like in the opening prologue where the bad guy's daughter died. And also this badass fight sequence. But on top of that, the story is deeply flawed in the many aspects that I just mentioned. It is laughably bad, especially with the characters and timing of the comedy. Now you may ask, how in the goddamn world did Taika Waititi made a shittier parody of his previous and better work? Well then, let's analyze both Thor Ragnarok and Thor Love and Thunder to see what makes the sequel to be not fun, messy, or even gayer. In Thor Ragnarok, the plot follows with Thor finding out Loki has been disguised as his dad Odin and outcasted him, resulting in his demise. This caused Hela, the first daughter of Odin, to break free from her cage and start chaos in Thor's homeworld, Asgard. So it's up to Thor, who now got stranded in another planet, to stop this chaos with his little brother Loki, who still hates him, which makes the situation even more chaotic. Now the plot for Thor Love and Thunder is that there's a god butcher on the loose butchering gods everywhere. Now it's up to Thor, who met his ex-girlfriend with Thor-like power, and his friends to stop the chaos. One thing that you'll notice is that the plot for Thor Ragnarok seems better because of the challenge he faced. It's the challenge or stake where the protagonist got put in a rough situation it has never been before. I'm talking about the situation that degraded the protagonist's ability. Spider-Man No Way Home did a good example with only Spider-Man himself that has to stop 5 villains, which proves it to be impossible and also a dose of reality.
We're okay. It's just me and you.
Thor in Thor Ragnarok got his hammer destroyed by Hela.
You have no idea what's possible.
Then thrown into a planet Sakaar that's filled with clean rural river JPEG, where everyone literally takes the piss out of him.
Help me! Oh my! Shh! What? You're alive. Yes, of course I'm alive. What are you doing here? What do you mean what am I doing? I'm stuck in this stupid chair. What is your chair? I didn't get a chair. Well, get me out of this one. I can't. Help me. I need your help.
Bye.
No one else on the planet is willing to help or even like him, which is very much a good option because I can relate with my friends.
Ayo kapan bakar rumah Miqii? Ojo bakar omah mbasake wong tuone, bakar wonge ae.
My friends are such a fuck.
Nice.
Anyway, so no one helped Thor except these two unlikable characters.
Pile of rocks waving at you. Here. Yeah, I'm actually a thing. I'm a being. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Korg. I'm kind of like the leader in here. I'm made of rocks, as you can see, but don't let that intimidate you. You don't need to be afraid unless you're made of scissors. Just a little rock, paper, scissors joke for you. This is my very good friend over here, Miqii.
But Hela is decimating his homeworld and is probably going to decimate more planets. In Thor Love and Thunder, however, the snake is the one that got the credit because instead of Thor being put in a way worse situation, well, it's not that because the only people who are in real danger are the gods instead of humans. Now, although it was explained in the movie that the death of gods can result in chaos within society, much of that happened like 2 times, which is only shown for a brief moment. Plus, Thor doesn't have the challenge face on him. He can travel anywhere, he can use his power anytime he wants. It's not in a deadline, so we don't really get to worry much about him. Now to be clear, Thor's world I'm talking about is literally like Star Wars. It has lots of characters, so I'm not going to go over every character in both movies, and instead I'm going to mention the characters that played a role in the ups and downs, which character is badly written, which character is not badly written. So the previous statement are synonymous with Thor Ragnarok because every single character has its own plot. Just name a few, we have Thor obviously, Loki obviously, Heimdall the loyal guard that Thor heavily relies on, Valkyrie is the strong female character, Hulk the big arrogant guy, Grandmaster the madman ruler of planet Sakaar, Korg and Miqii which are 2 helpful companions, Hela the big bad sister, and also this quirky guy. At first, some of these characters may look like they just have the role and have no background. Well, Valkyrie, who hated Thor, actually used to be an elite army serving Odin to fight Hela. That ended up got beaten so badly by her plot armor, so she ended up resizing the planet Sakaar, waiting to die by alcohol consumption.
For help.
Finished.
I am never gonna financially recover from this.
Hulk, in the other hand, almost had identical reason.
Nice work, big guy. We don't know where Ultron's headed, but you're going very high very fast, so I need you to turn this bird around, okay? We can't track you in stealth mode, so I need you to help me out, okay?
The only minus is that he's dumb as fuck. Grandmaster is the selfish ruler who just wants everything work the way he wants.
I'm upset. I'm very upset. You know what I like about being upset? Blame. And right now, that's the mindset that I'm in. And you know who I'm blaming?
Grandmaster,
Hey!
Hela used to be a loyal daughter to Odin.
I failed you. It is upon us. Ragnarok.
No, I've stopped Ragnarok. I put an end to Surtur.
You cannot stop Ragnarok. Why fight it?
Because that's what heroes do. Wait, I'm sorry, I didn't time that right.
Stop Ragnarok.
No. It's already begun. She's coming.
Oh, who are you talking about?
Goddess of death. Hela. Her firstborn. Your sister.
In which they both one by one until Odin waged war against her because of disagreement and then outcasted her and caged her far away in the unknown. Odin even went to a length that no one on Asgard knows this. The quirky guy always doubting which side should he choose, which fate should he choose. He tried to maintain his position as a strong alpha male, but inside he's just a weak and kind soul. Lastly, Loki in the other hand is much more better than how he was presented in the 2 previous movies, in which he's either makes a grim that resembles Derma or just being emotional for no reason. Loki's character here is perfect. The first few minutes before we introduce to him is that we already see a statue of him being built. Of course, this wasn't seen as a artifact at first. However, then we get to see a drama that played out the event of the previous movie. While in the drama before Loki died, he said something to Thor about how great he is and all of that.
You are the savior of Asgard. Tell my story. Build a statue for me. We will build a big statue for you. With my helmet on, with the big bendy horns. I will tell Father what you did here today. I didn't do it for him. I didn't do it for him.
And then the scene transitions to the backstory of Loki and how he's the chosen one. Then finally we get to see him disguising as Odin. This not only proves that Loki is beyond egotistical and he don't think that everything he did was right, but also shows that he just doesn't learn from his mistake, which is something that carries on in the later movie Avengers Infinity War. Now let's see Thor Love and Thunder. We have Thor obviously, Korg, Valkyrie, and a new addition Jane Foster, which is Thor's ex-girlfriend, and Gore the God Butcher. Jane and Gore are definitely two necessary additions in the movie, but both characters are executed poorly. But first, let's get over some of the main characters. First, Thor is dumb. He's making some unnecessary decisions for no reason.
Tell of the time that Thor, his ragtag motley crew, misfit desperados, turned the tide of the battle and etched their names in history.
You know, the good news is you're Asgardians, so if you die, you'll end up in Valhalla.
Oh my god, go away.
Meanwhile, Valkyrie and Korg is here for, what was it again? Oh yeah, I can't remember. Better take my pill. Okay, jokes aside, they have some good development, but in the end, it didn't lead to nowhere because in the final fight, Valkyrie and Korg aren't present. Now going back to Jane and Gore, I hate to admit it, but as I was watching it on theater, I thought Jane and Gore was very likable since both characters were introduced in a tragic way. Gore's origin began with him and his young daughter slowly dying in an already dying planet. He kept asking his god Rapu for help, but nothing came. Later, his daughter died, leaving him alone. Again, this is some great shit. But then the next act is just so straightforward and predictable. He heard a voice and found his god just hanging out with his thoughts. His god didn't care his daughter died, so he grabbed a sword and took out his life. Also, Rapu literally left the only weapon that could kill him, the Necrosword, right, in front of him in the open. The distance that Korg could just, you know.
So this is my vow. All gods will die.
Anyway, this is where Korg got mega executed. Instead of making him the god butcher, he instead became a kidnapper where he kidnapped kids in order to pay Thor, the god of thunder, to come and save them, which is already a contradiction because he already lose faith in gods. Same thing happened with Jane as she was introduced in an already devastating state where she's in short term because of cancer. Later she found Thor's destroyed hammer and that's how she became Lady Thor. You know what, I'm gonna give that a pass. Anyway, so apparently the Thor, like power she possessed, drains her energy, meaning it makes her weaker and ended up shortening her deadline. Even though this does carries on till the finale, that's the only thing we get from her. Nowhere across the movie that we have Thor argues with Jane in any plot-affecting way. Also, there are Lady Sif and Zeus who last way shorter than I expected. Lady Sif only appears in the second act where she's wounded and we never got to see her again. Zeus appears in I think the fifth act where he's there doing a standing ovation and Thor killed him, so we never got to see him again. So in short, Thor Ragnarok clearly has more characters to offer than Thor Love and Thunder. I noticed that the character section is getting a little longer, so I'm going to split it into two parts. So this is the second part and it's going to be a short one because I'm going to be talking about the internal conflicts of each character. Basically the proving point on what makes them consistent. Thor Ragnarok has shown many examples of each characters having internal conflicts, but the perfect example is the suspicion of Thor when he found out that this whole time Odin was actually Loki in disguise. This carries on until the moment when both Loki and Thor finally found Odin in his last few breaths, and when he dies, Thor quickly turns suspicion to rage as the attention moves from Odin to Loki.
This was your doing.
Again, this literally carries on. Also, I love Hela's appearance at this moment where she asked both Thor and Loki to kneel before her before she tried the hard way. Really shows a bit about her.
Kneel. Before your queen.
Meanwhile, in Thor Love and Thunder, oh wait, there isn't. One of the main selling points of both movies is obviously comedy. Even though most people don't agree that the mood between shift from serious and dark to comedy, well, it is kind of justified since Thor Ragnarok is actually way darker than the previous movie. Instead of meeting our favorite characters, let's just kill them as if they're not even a character anymore.
Who are you? What have you done with Thor?
Oh, still alive. Change of heart?
Go back to whatever cave you crept out of. You evil demoness.
Now back to the topic, look at the scene of Loki and Valkyrie arguing and fighting. It may look a little funny, that doesn't affect the plot, until...
Choose your next words wisely. I'm terribly sorry. It must be a very painful memory.
This became a waypoint to learn more about Valkyrie as a character. Another example is the drama part that I've mentioned before. It may look crazy, but it's a necessary tool to get to know more about Loki. Here are more examples.
What's with the...
It's my disguise.
back into your face?
Not when I do this, you can't.
Who is this guy?
He's a friend.
I feel like I know you.
I feel like I know you too.
What's going on?
The fall of Asgard. The great prophecy.
Hang on. Oh, maybe.
You need to draw some guards away from the palace.
Why not set the beast loose?
Shut up.
Because of a beast?
No, there's no beast.
Everything's gonna be all right now. I got this. You wanted to know who I am?
What the hell are you talking about?
You'll see!
You get the point. Even though some of the jokes gets too much, it still managed to hold itself and let the action do it. Again, the comedy in Thor Ragnarok is used as a waypoint or specifically for plot to get to know more about a character. Now if you look at the comedy in Thor Love and Thunder, it is pretty funny at first, but then it forces itself too much, especially with the goat screams.
Take with you. How beautiful.
Plus, what makes the comedy even more irritating is that they have no correlation to the situation, so when you cut it off from the movie, the plot doesn't change. This section is going to mainly fixating on the finale and everything that has been pinpointed down that has connection with the finale, including pacing. Thor Ragnarok has the perfect payoff ever. We got the characters that Thor has gained trust with working together with him to fight Hela, who shows no mercy at this point. We also have Heimdall leading the people of Asgard, and all of this coming together in one action sequence.
Hey man, I'm cool. This is me.
Your savior is here!
But it didn't stop there. Again, literally everything is coming together in the finale. Now look at Thor Love and Thunder's finale. Even though I like the idea of Gore just releasing an army of China, whatever the fuck are those, and ordered them to just going at it, but almost all the characters that I've mentioned barely appears. It's just Thor and Jane, and instead we were accompanied by an army of children. Oh no. That sounds so wrong, but yeah, that's Thor Love and Thunder's finale, everyone. So Thor Love and Thunder sucks and Thor Ragnarok is good. Okay, obviously both movies have some cons. Like in Thor Ragnarok, I thought the Grandmaster's attitude is a bit cringe.
What happened to my manners? I haven't properly introduced myself. Come on, follow me.
And also a scene like this that just caught me off guard.
Commander of the legions of Asgard, kneel before me and rise into the ranks of my great conquest.
What? But Thor Love and Thunder is on a whole another level, alright? Plus, I haven't even cut to the questionable decisions, like why did Thor kill Zeus instead of convincing him to join the team against Thor? Why did Thor take his strength butchering gods when he can just going after Thor and take his axe to go to infinity and just wish all the gods to be killed? Why didn't Korg, Miqii, and Valkyrie join forces with Thor in the finale? Why didn't Thor call Guardians of the Galaxy to join forces in the finale? Here's the truth, and I know you guys will hate this, but Taika Waititi is just like any other directors. They don't make the perfect story every time, and they will make mistakes. Moreover, I do acknowledge the fact that Taika Waititi during the production of Thor Love and Thunder had self-inflated ego and decided to write identity politics, or better known as
The Message.
in these characters instead of useful plot that can make the audience sympathize or at least understand where these characters are coming from, something which Thor Ragnarok 100% did. The characters in the planet Scar make like douchebags that just want to use others for their own benefit, but the more you get to know about them, the more you understand them, what they have gone through. But importantly, one thing that stands out in the movie is what Thor experienced, especially when he's in Scar, and this is something that most of us can relate. Everything is against you. Nobody is going to help you. Hell, even if they do, they can even betray you or leave you at any time. In short, it embodies how rough the world is, and that kind of clever writing was never to be seen again in Thor Love and Thunder because the morals of caring for our loved ones got overshadowed by repetitive comedy and identity politics. I much don't care for these poo-poo, can't care for these asses. Just to be clear, it's fine if you want to make it comedy or funny or anything like that, but you have to put at least some serious tone to it. And while the end did get emotional as Thor saw James dying of cancer, actually reminded him of his daughter, which makes him change his decision for the last time. And I hate to admit this, but this finale is way better than in Thor Ragnarok.
It's not death or revenge that you seek. What do I seek? You seek love. Choose love. You can too. You can bring her back. Make your wish.
Unfortunately, again, the rest of the movie is just messy. It's not fun or enjoyable, mainly because of the sheer fucking repetitive comedy and identity politics. So I've said this in my last critic video on Miss Marvel, and I will say it again. Nobody cares about your identity politics. So yeah guys, that was a hard journey. Definitely as hard as my times in college. And not because of how rough college has been to me, but it's because of the friends that I've made along the way. I'm so glad that I can make original jokes from now on. Anyway, follow me on Instagram for stuff other than my content. I also post some updates on the upcoming videos too. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell. That way you'll be notified for my latest video, and peace.